Hey everyone, happy Thanksgiving. I have a full face of new products to try on with you today. This eyeshadow, I can't wait for you to see it, so exciting. Before we get into it, I have a really exciting announcement. With so many Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals coming up, it can be really hard to sort through them and figure out what are the best deals and avoid making those regret purchases where you buy something and then you realize it was actually cheaper on a different site. That's actually the worst. So to help you avoid that and just take some stress off of you, I decided to compile all of my favorite sales that I feel like are worth shopping along with my favorite products. It'll be like a master sheet of everything you need to know that you can reference in case you had something in mind. You can be like, oh, is it cheaper on this site or that site? I got you. So I just really wanted to make a helpful guide for you. It's totally free. It will be in the description below for you to grab it. It's gonna make your life a lot easier if you plan on shopping any sales. When I was writing it, it was actually reminding me of when I used to have a blog. If you remember that, you are a real OG. In return, all I ask is that you subscribe to this channel if you aren't already and give this video a like. Super simple, just 2 buttons, and you could download that guide below. But let's go ahead and get into today's makeup. Let's go ahead and dive into this new makeup. First, it's not a brand new product, but it's gonna go with the new foundation that we have here to try. So it's the Smashbox Photo Finish Original Primer. This is like an OG silicone-based smoothing primer. It's actually just really simple and effective. You may have used this at some point. If you like makeup, you may have already tried this. I'm just popping this in the T-zone, anywhere I have a little bit of texture, so hopefully our foundation will lay down really nicely. This is really gentle on the skin as well. There's no fragrance in it. It doesn't really have anything super irritating, so it's a great one for sensitive skin. So the new foundation I have here to try is the Smashbox Always On Foundation. It says it's skin balancing with hyaluronic acid and adaptogens. So another one of those like skincare based new foundations, which I'm always really excited about. I have the shade F10W, which is the fairest warm shade. Looks like it's gonna be a really good match. This looks really interesting, the skin balancing component, especially I have combo skin, so usually I need a little bit of both mattifying properties and some hydrating, moisturizing properties. So let's shake this up. Really nice glass bottle with a pump. We'll start with 1 pump and see how far that goes. I'll probably end up needing more since I'm gonna use a sponge. That actually had a surprising amount of coverage. Obviously this blemish is gonna need some more love. It took a little bit to blend out, like it's almost a more sticky formula, which I actually think is nice. It usually wears quite a long time. Really nice medium coverage. The shade is honestly basically perfect. We will see if it oxidizes or anything though. Hopefully it will not. So I'm going in with another pump. I'm actually really curious about the sort of details about this foundation, so while I'm blending out, let me read what it claims to be. Skin balancing, oil control, and hydration. So that sounds perfect for combo skin. It says medium to full coverage and freshly applied natural looking skin. Visibly evens tone, reducing the appearance of redness, blemishes, and imperfections. Primer infused. Won't cake, flake, or streak for 16 hours. Water, sweat, humidity, crease, settle, and transfer resistant. Ooh, very interesting. Vegan and cruelty free. Dermatologist tested, non-acneogenic, appropriate for all skin types. I'm gonna go in with the Pixie under eye corrector. Not new, I just feel like I really need some help under my eyes. So the foundation actually looks so good. It like has quite a bit of dry down. Like it's quite a traditional feeling foundation, but it's really, really thin, which I really love. I think the shade is so good as well. For concealer, I'm using the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Concealer, whatever the heck it's called. It is amazing, one of my favorite concealers. Definitely getting a backup during the Haus Labs sale. Yeah, this foundation, I hope it wears well. We will put it to the test and see if it is as long wearing as it claims, because it looks beautiful and I love the shade. It has a warm undertone, but it's definitely not too yellow or too orange. I feel like it just has a really nice balance. I applied it with a sponge and it still gave me a lot of coverage, so it's definitely more on like the medium buildable side, which I think is really nice compared to the new MAC Studio Radiance, which I've been really enjoying as well. This one definitely has a glowier, lighter finish and is slightly more dewy on the skin. This one is almost just like a satin skin, like almost verging on a little bit matte because of those oil controlling properties, which should be good for my skin. I usually put some concealer on my lids, but I have a new eye primer to try out. This is from Ulta Beauty. I grabbed this, it was on sale, really affordable because I wanted an eye primer, but didn't really want to spend a lot because I wasn't sure if, you know, they're actually going to work because my eyelids do get pretty oily. And I've tried, like, you know, the Urban Decay one a while ago, and that one's definitely effective, but it's pricey. So I was like, maybe this will be a more affordable version. So it's called their Matte Eye Primer from the Ulta Beauty brand. Sort of has this like beigey color, but once I put it on the lids, it's pretty sheer. Kind of just gives you a little bit of tint to cancel out any discoloration. Has a really creamy feel. It blends out really smoothly, so I'm very curious to see if it'll actually extend the wear of eyeshadow. If so, such a good like drugstore priced eye primer. You can tell that like it's a little bit darker my skin, but I feel like it helps to cancel out the discoloration. And if you're darker than me, probably not gonna be an issue. For blush, I have the Chantecaille Cheek Jelly Blush, which I have yet to try. I've tried the bronze version, but this is a hydrating gel cream blush, and I'm guessing it's similar to the formula of the bronzer. I'm gonna shake it a little bit. And this is the shade Vibrant. I mean, you get so much product in these tubes. They are pricey, but especially during the sale, but could be a good long-term buy. I'm gonna apply this with a brush, and I'm just gonna apply this with my Luxie Small Contouring. This is a gorgeous color. I was worried it would be like a little bit bright. This foundation looks so good. It's a really soft, like satiny look, like soft focus. I don't think I've ever had like a favorite Smashbox foundation. Maybe this will be it. Since the Chantecaille blush is more of a gel formula, very buildable and lightweight on the skin. It's not like, it doesn't have that heaviness of a cream blush. So if you have more oily skin, or if you just really like lightweight makeup, I think this would be a good pick. And this color is very pretty. It's honestly looking like my natural flush. I'm gonna go ahead and set everything with the Dermablend powder. I've been using this a ton lately. It's a translucent basic powder and just goes with everything. I do have a new brush here. These are from the brand Rèphr. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I have a feeling I might not be, but these are really beautiful brushes. I picked out a couple from the site, and this is the number 18. I love these sort of like more pointed dome-shaped brushes. I'm gonna use this for under the eye actually, and then using this brush to set under the eye. Ooh, yeah, this is so nice. I have such a cool new palette to try. I probably should have done my eyes first, but that's all right. Let's go ahead and set the rest of the face just using that same powder. I feel like this foundation doesn't need a ton of powder because it's already pretty matte. It feels really locked down on my face, but I always set anyway. I want to set that gel blush as well. The shade was really good. I don't even feel like I really needed to bring it down my neck that much. Really great fair olive option. Yeah, now that I've set the foundation, it's a very soft matte, but it still looks like relatively skin-like. I don't know if you can see on my forehead, but it's still got a little glow to it. For my bronzer, I actually have this Kimchi Beauty Thailor contour that I want to use. This is a duo cutest compact. So you get half of like this more of a bronzer shade, not really a cool contour on me, but could work if you have warmer skin. And then this really pretty like satin highlighting formula. These are so pigmented, so I like to pick it up on my brush and get the excess off on my wrist. Also using another Luxie brush, large angled, one of my favorites from them. And I just want to start to sculpt out the cheeks. Since we have that cheek gel on already, we have a nice guideline of where to put bronzer and contour. It's so pretty. First time I used this, it just is so pigmented. I used way too much, so definitely be careful with it. Powders are also going over just beautifully on this foundation. Give me a really nice canvas to work with. For highlight, I want to use the Haus Labs Silver Highlight. I've just been loving this lately, especially with this duo fiber brush. We definitely need some glow back to the skin. Love this shade. I really like the versatility of this highlight as well. You can build it up, or if you use a brush like this, applies it a little bit more lightly so it's not as sort of dramatic. Brush like this can also apply it sort of like a blush topper to make your blush glowy because it covers a wider area than a fan brush that would be thin and a little bit more precise. I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows with the Maybelline Express Brow. Speaking of Maybelline, I just saw with their Maybelline Sky High Mascara, which is my favorite mascara basically ever. They released new shades including a pink, a blue, and a burgundy. I want the burgundy so bad. I don't think it's like officially out yet. I just saw it on Trend Mood, but I feel like that would be so pretty because I have tried the L'Oreal like burgundy one, but the voluminous formula to me is just so horrible. Like it does not wear well at all. But I know I like the Sky High formula, so that is so exciting. Also this new Bodyography product, which is called their Epic Brow. It has a brow definer and a brow gel on the other end. So we're gonna do some little precise hairs. I usually don't use something like this on its own, but I do like it just to add a little bit of texture. But if you have really nice brows already, this could just be like your brow look. To prevent any fallout, I'm just going to use a little bit of this Maybelline Fit Me powder in the lightest shade. I did a little bit just under my eyes. Alright, onto the fun stuff. I've been trying a lot of new eyeshadow palettes lately, which is really fun. This one is from What's Up Beauty. I've never tried this brand before, but look at this palette. It's so cool. This is the Dragon Eye eyeshadow palette. These are talc-free, clean, cruelty-free shadows, and they're made in Italy. Look at how gorgeous these are. There's mattes, and then there's also these like duochrome type of shimmers, so we're gonna have a lot of fun with this one, I think. They also have some brushes from the same brand, so we'll try those out as well. I think we're gonna start just with this shade here, which is Creature. This is a warm peachy shade, and I'm just gonna work this in as a transition color. Now with that blended in, I think we're gonna lean towards these purple shades in the palette. They just are screaming my name. So we do have that sort of like warmer color on, but next I'm gonna go in with Spikes, which is this mauve purple, another one of the matte shades. I'm actually just gonna use that same brush, and I just wanna start to build that up a little bit closer to my crease. I actually feel like laying down a warm shade can really help these more cool toned purples just blend in a little more seamlessly. These shadows are really nice and pigmented. They're blending out well. Also be a good test to see how this Ulta shadow primer performs. It does seem to have like a really nice base for the shadow to stick to. This is gonna be such a fun look, I could already tell. Next, I think I wanna go a little bit more into this brown shade. This is called Smoke. Still has a little bit of like a purpleness. It's like a cool brown, so it should go with that purple. And I just wanna use this to deepen out the outer V. I'm not gonna worry about blending on the lid too much because we're gonna do one of those really sparkly like chrome shades. If you're ever curious about the difference between like a natural hair blend brush like this and a synthetic brush like these Luxie ones, these are really good for precision application, but a synthetic brush is gonna give you more of like a smooth blend. So you can apply with this and it works well, but I always like to go in with a synthetic brush and it just helps smoke everything out. Go ahead and do some work on this lower lash line. I think I'm just gonna take those same shades. I'm actually just gonna start with the purple one, and then to smoke that out and tie in with the sort of warm crease that we have, I'm gonna go back into that shade. Okay, love this sunset sort of gradient eye that we have going on. These are performing so well, looking really smooth, especially for like purples can be really hard to get right in a palette, and for a talc-free shadow, they're still really smooth and creamy. Now comes the extremely hard part of picking one of these shimmers. I don't know if I'm gonna go with purple. Maybe we'll use two of them. So here's some of the purple shades. First one has like a really cool brown shift to it, and then we have that middle pink one, and then just a classic darker purple. And then we have the blues and greens. This bottom one is this dark green Scales, and then we have this lighter one which has like a green gold reflect, and then we have this more yellow green, and then the top one is like a yellow green reflect base. I think I want to use two of them, but I'm going to start with this shade Magic, which is more of the pink reflect one. These are very creamy and quite glittery, so I'm going to use my finger. I feel like they always apply the best this way. Whoa, see, it has that like blueberry reflect almost. And then for the inner corner, I think I want to go complementary and take one of the greens. This shade Fierce is just calling my name. It's more of that like yellowy green. Whoa, oh my gosh, this color is crazy. It blended with the purple and almost made like a new shade in the middle. These are applying so smoothly and sticking to my lid. I literally do not have any fallout when I'm using my fingers. This is so cool. I'm glad I decided to use those two shades. I feel like I could even use another one. I'm gonna take the Fly shade, which is the lightest color in the palette, just right on the inner corner. Dang, this is so cool. I definitely want to play with more of these really intense shades. They apply beautifully, like they built upon themselves to become really pigmented, and these are just the one swipe swatches. I really like how the purple sort of blended with the green in the middle to make another shade. Do you feel like I want a little bit of a brow bone highlight? So I'm gonna use the Haus Labs highlighter. With really shimmery looks like this, I feel like a matte brow bone highlight just doesn't go as well, you know? why not bring the shimmer everywhere? I think this look will really hold up well to a bold liner, so I'm gonna use the KVD Tattoo Liner. Now that I have the general shape, I'm actually gonna go back in with this deep brown just to soften and smoke up the liner. This palette is stunning. I fell in love with the packaging. This is so cool. And I haven't used any formulas that are even similar to these shimmers. They are like so insanely gorgeous and actually laid down so nicely along with the mattes on the lid. So from that same brand that makes that palette, I have their mascara. It's called the Watch Me Mascara. So it actually has like two sides to it. It says begin by applying with the twisted wire bristles and then switch to the silicone to comb the lashes. This is what it looks like. It's actually in, I think, metal packaging. I don't know, it looks like metal. There's two different sides to it. It might be a little bit hard to tell, but the top one is the silicone and then the rest are like those natural hair brushes. So it's said to apply with that one first and then to use this other side to comb them out. It didn't really get chunky, so I don't feel like I need to comb it out, but we will still try. Ooh, it's adding like a lot of length. The effect is beautiful. It was so interesting to apply with the like softer bristles, which gave me more volume, and then use the silicone ones to sort of like lengthen the lashes. The effect is really gorgeous. Like, it's not too voluminous or too lengthening. It gives you the best of both worlds, and it was perfect for those bottom lashes too. This was a beautiful mascara. I think the dual wand was actually really interesting and helpful to use. We'll see if it wears well though, because that's, you know, the true test of mascara. A lot of them are pretty, not a lot of them wear without flaking or smudging. Next for lips, I'm gonna start with the ColourPop Lippie Pencil. This is the shade Action. I usually use Cool BFF, but this one's still cool toned, a little bit darker though. I don't know if this lip is gonna be a little too dark for this look, but I really wanted to use it. The Rose Ink lipstick, I wore this in my previous video and I have been wearing this every day. It looks like super dark in the tube, but on the lips, it is the prettiest color. This is the shade Eloquent, by the way. Lips, it is the prettiest color. This is the shade Eloquent, by the way. Like, if you just do a light layer and sort of blend it in with your fingers, it creates this like balmy wash of color. Oh no, I totally forgot to talk about this, but I also have a new Milani eyeshadow crayon. I'll save this for another video. The shade wasn't really gonna work totally with this anyway, so we'll see how that works, but I did pick it up to try. So here's our fun little glam look. The Smashbox foundation. This looks really good on. I'm so curious to see if it wears well. It was like a little bit more matte than I was expecting almost. Maybe it's just because we used quite a lot of powder. So we'll see if this ends up wearing well. It says always on. I mean, I'm probably gonna work out with this makeup on, which is a little bit crazy, but you gotta do what you gotta do, and we will test the like sweat resistance and everything. I'll also really test the eye primer, so I will definitely have to update you. So many fun new products. I think the eyeshadow like kind of stole the show for me, and this new lip color from Rose Ink. These like duochrome shades are so pretty and I really like this look. I really hope you enjoyed hanging out and trying some new makeup on. Don't forget to check in the description below for my link to my ultimate Black Friday Cyber Monday deal guide, just to make your life a little bit easier and you can shop all my favorites so you know what to get. But thank you for tuning in. There will be 2 videos here. You can click one or two. I will see you in one of those. Thanks for watching. Bye.